Okay, I think I'm live, so I'm going to be doing a guide for you on Longbeard. Leo, I believe your name was. Now, Longbeard is a very good... Let's just pick this up real quick. He's a good legendary champion. I got him quite early in my playthrough, so let's have a look. See a little Longbeard. Here we go. Now, you said he was your first legendary, which means I'm going to assume you're not overly far into the game. And the first thing you need to ask is, where do you want to use him? Now, you've got a really good understanding of where you want that. You've said you want Fire Knight, and you also want Arena. Now, I assume when you're early in the game, you want everyone in the arena who you can just hit hard with, which is fair. For Fire Knight, you've nailed it. He is ideal. It took me a while to figure it out, but when I started using him, I got to Fire Knight 20 and Ice Golem 20, like that, and I beat him. Obviously, I had a good team around him, but it wasn't awfully legendary heavy, which my account is now, but that's to be expected once you get to level 96. Irregardless, so we've got ourselves a Longbeard. You know what his skills do. This is a guide for you. So let's just quickly figure out where you want to use these skills. So the first question I ask is, what do you want him to do? I would assume you just want him to smash his Horde's Fury into every enemy constantly. Well, that means you need him going fast and you need to keep him alive. How do you do that? Speed boots, health percent, defense for me, I guess. Ignore my build, by the way. Just do as I say, not as I do. This is for a specific clan boss setup that I was using, and I was just testing it out. I will be changing this build. So we've got speed boost, health percent. Defense is good to keep him alive, but he will become a target because his health is so low. He does have a good base, but still. And I have crit rate here. You can go more health, you can go crit rate, you can go defense, you can go crit damage. He's quite versatile. Never go attack, naturally. So, Longbeard brings a weaken. Do you want to use this weaken? That's important. If you do, you need to put him at about 200 accuracy. The reason for that is you're not going to use him as your weakener in Doom Tower. I don't see that as something that's happening. If you are, 200 is going to be enough for the level of Doom Tower that you're in. By the time you get to the point where you want his weaken in Doom Tower, you hopefully either A, have a better weakener, or B, have champions that do AoE decrease defense and you live without the single target weaken. A single target weaken is good for bosses. It's not worth putting him at the 350 accuracy necessary for the entirety of Doom Tower. 200 will do the job for a good chunk of Doom Tower, I think all of normal. And it'll get you the weaken on Ice Golem and on Fire Knight, given the Fire Knight's shield is down. If you're going to use him in Dragon, it'll work there too, which he's quite good there. And it'll also work on the Spider, which he's not bad in either. He just doesn't bring anything special to Spider. So the team you want around him is as important as him. He doesn't have any healing capabilities unless he's in lifesteal. So a healer like Apothecary works well, and Apothecary is perfect if you want Fire Knight because Apothecary has a free hitter. Now, that's basically how you want him to be built on Fire Knight. You want him alive, you want him fast. You don't worry about the damage, even though both of these hit very hard. The Unstoppable Force and the Brittleness Curse. They hit hard. Build that later. Now, after you've done your speed and your survivability, focusing on crit rate's not a bad idea. Now, don't get married to the idea of having full sets. You can even see on my one here, I've only got 2 sets on him, even though I've got, 6 pieces. Now, good set if you want the accuracy, perception works. Speed, I've mentioned it, that I've got 2 speed sets here now, that makes sense. It's always a good idea to make sure you get your stats in before your speed. If you are absolutely married to having a set on him, Relentless is not a bad idea here because of the 18% chance to gain an extra turn. That'll keep him going fast, and counter to that, you could also use regeneration. I have no regeneration gear. Oh wow. You could use regeneration to keep him alive. Now, if you use Relentless and you're able to top it up with Immortal, now you've got chances to go more and get that skill going more and more often, and Immortal will heal you. Lifesteal will do the same thing in the healing department, and then if you want to go faster, use Perception or Speed or Divine Speed. My point is, it's not super important to get a full set. A lot of my champions, even my best champion, only has one set there, and then 2 off pieces because they were good pieces to use. If you're able to get a full set, just consider it a bonus, not a necessity. So, if I was building a Fire Knight team, and I'll talk about Arena while this plays through. If I was building a Fire Knight team for Longbeard, we can... Oh, this is a fun little test, wasn't it? Goodbye. So, we've got Longbeard in. Now, let's try to keep it... You've only got... You said he's the first legendary you put, so I won't use any others. Apothecary is awesome, and he can be the leader. I do not have a lure. I wish I did. I don't. That's fine. So, we're going to go with Cold Heart here. Now the reason, this is because they've got multi-hits on DA1. That's why they're there. Now you need a decreased defense. Now, I don't have a War Maiden build, so I'm going to use Stag Knight. Alright, and now, you don't have to recreate this team exactly. I want you to remember that. That's not what this is about. This is about, you've got Longbeard. Apothecary you should have access to. Would be really nice if you did. Cold Heart, obviously it would be nice if you had access to her, but she is my big hitter and turn meter decreaser. And then any decreased defense like your War Maiden. Tyrell would be hard to do his job here because of the affinity, but if you have him, same goes for Dr. Pierce. Other decreased defenses like Hellmore, the Demon Spawn, same affinity as Stag Knight. And then, well, ideally you would actually put in a Razan, but he's a fusion. You can work on him. This is how I did it, I think, the first time. I used this exact team the first time I beat this stage, so this is how it would work. Now, building for Arena. This is a completely different setup. He doesn't bring anything to Arena outside of his Horde's Fury. A single target weaken is not awfully useful, and the attack that comes from, his basic, it's good, it does damage, it hits through block damage. It doesn't hit for unkillable, remember that. And it hits through shields. But it only hits one person. Oh no, I used Sill of the Drakes on this team instead of Razan, I think. Yeah, it was instead of Razan I used Sill. We'll ignore that. So you want to pair him with a speed booster like your Gorgorab, your Arbiter, your Haikatoon. Hopefully it's a speed booster that is Gorgorab, or even Seeker, because they boost the turn meter and give the increased attack, which is super useful. So Seeker goes first. Then Longbeard immediately goes next. If you want to counter Torments, put him in an immunity set. This is where a set is important. If you want to counter Torment, he goes in immunity. If you have no interest in countering Torments because you're not going to fight them, you just want him to be almost as fast as your speed booster, and then you can just chuck on as much damage as you want. And then, after that, you just want your 2 other champions to be someone like a Skullcrown, a Sinesha. I don't have Skullcrown, I wish I did. Big Gun, which I also don't have, but someone with an AoE on the A1 to just do damage. And they can be built on attack percent, crit damage gloves. They don't need to be fast at all, because the moment he goes and does his ally attack, they get a turn. And that's what's super useful about them. So I used a Bellower and a Senesha. My Bellower was built very differently to how he is now. He was built to do damage. And so Seeker would go, give increased attack, and boost turn meter. Longbeard would immediately go next. Senesha and Bellower do the rest of the job. And it would be hard for me to show you how that works right now because of where I am in the arena, in High Gold 4, but think about the idea of how that works. So that's Longbeard there. Now Razin, I know you said Longbeard's your first legendary. You said it was the first one you pulled. You may have fused Razin. Still, the Drakes is equally as legendary and better. But you can see that it doesn't really matter what team is around them so long as you've got a way to get the shield down. And Longbeard has a way of facilitating that. Now, obviously, if Ash brings out a video for you, it's going to be a lot better quality than this. This is just something to hold you over until that, basically. As for masteries, this is my clan boss setup. It does work in general utility. A lot of it makes no sense. Actually, I need to redo this entire thing. Can I? Is it free? It is free. Okay. So I would say this is... I don't need this on him. I guess it might help a little bit. He might be the first person to hit an enemy. It's unlikely. He might get a few kills, but this is useful for him if you're building him to hit hard, because he'll heal a little bit. War Master is better for him than any of the other offensive ones, because he doesn't really do too much damage to get a bonus amount from Help Smasher. You're not going to build him at 220 crit damage, though 240 as a buff would be awesome, but this is just consistency, this War Master. He does use his A1 a lot because of his ally attack, so this gives you a nice good 10%. If you build him to hit hard, this is good. I'm not going to lie, that's good if you build him to hit hard. Because he can go through shields and just hit someone. And Cycle of Magic would be quite good on him to get that Horde's Fury back and running. I see what this build is. I don't want any turn meter. He wasn't an unkillable. Which works, by the way. Kreela's better. I don't have Kreela. Well, yeah, so in Arena, you have to have a good team around him. You need to have your classic blender comp, which... Can I find any in Arena right now? Herndid could work well. Again, that's another legendary, which is... Okay, so... If in Arena... this could work. Oh, yeah, fine. Kaima. Into... a... speed booster like... Seeker. Oh, this team's gonna outspeed me if I try that. Let's try it on this one. Now, I'm probably gonna lose, but that's okay. If I was going to use Longbeard, it would look like this. Yeah, and Senesha's in the back. Oh, this is just going to be an auto lose. That's okay, I'll come back in after and fight him again. So, in a perfect world, this is your Arbiter. If not, it's your Skull Crown. If you've got Skull Crown, this is a good team. Because Skull Crown gives a 23% aura, as you can see here. Here. 23%. I use my mouse. It's 23% aura. Instead of this 30% defense. And Skull Crown works well with Senesha. They play off each other. This one, Seeker, increased attack and increased turn meter. Huge amount, 30% turn meter and big increased attack. He's really good. And then Longbeard activates him. So let's not start on order, just so I can show you what is gonna happen. Karma's not bad, I guess, because he does have an AoE, but it's not built for it. So big old turn meter boost, and you want to push back whoever's there fastest. if you're manualing it. So, look at that. You're pushed back. Here we go. And then, oh. Sinesh is faster. Or whatever. Sinesh is faster. You come in. There's a counter. So now, here. And we target, let's say, Duchess. And then everyone hits. And they all survive, and now I'm dead. But that's the general gist of it. Yeah, I should have seen that coming. That's just... I just lost a coin, but that's okay. So, that's how you would use that team. Now, I just need my revenge. Very good. I swear to God, if that Skull Crown does anything to kill me, I'm going to be so annoyed. Cool. Problem solved. So, he is a good arena champion. Ooh, what was that? I'll take that. That's a good win. So I really hope that was helpful to you. If it wasn't, I just wasted a good 15 minutes of your time. So